Hello everyone, this is NOOR and welcome to the Creativity channel. Today I'll show you how to create an image like this. So this is basically a 3D pop-out image manipulation image that we have created in Adobe Photoshop. So I'll show you the full steps, and here we use two images and we blend these two images together, and then we use some effect and we did some color adjustment, and this is how we actually created an image like this. So this is a very famous technique, basically creating something that's coming out from a screen or something like this. That is what we call 3D pop-out image manipulation. So let's get it started. Just follow the steps and I think you'll be able to create the same image. And the images that I have used here in this video, I'll upload this image and I'll share the download link, and you'll get the download link in the description or maybe in the comment section. So you can download the images from there. So first, I'll be opening the image. So here I use this phone image. Here you can see. So this is the image that I used. So after opening the image, then you have to take a new layer. So take a new layer by clicking on this icon. And then we have to apply the black color by pressing Alt Delete. I would like to apply the black color, but here, this is not the black color. So we have to take the black color from here. And then we'll press again Alt Delete. And this is how I apply the black color in the new layer. And then we have to change the blend mode to soft light from here. And then we'll decrease the opacity of this black color layer to 80%. And then we'll add a layer mask to this black color layer. So what is the main purpose? Basically, I would like to make this top part here a little bit darker and this bottom part a little bit brighter. So for that, I added the layer mask. And then with the brush tools, if I now brush here with the black color, then I can hide this black shades that I have added here with this layer. So from this bottom part. So that's the main purpose. So just simply when the layer mask is selected, from here select the brush tools and then make sure that the opacity is 50 or below 50%. And then you have to brush here and then make sure to select the soft brush. And then let's brush here like this. And you can see here now I'm able to bring back the lights here because I added here this black color layer and also have blended this by using the soft light blend mode. And now you see that it's darker, but the darker parts is at the top, you can see here. But at the bottom, I removed that darkness. So this is what you have to do at first. And then after that, you have to place the other image here. So that's the second image. So this is the two images that we'll be using. One is the mobile phone image and the one is this image where a person is riding on the horse. So you can see here, so this is the image we'll be using, but this image is right now on the left side, looking, or it's basically heading to the left side. We have to flip it. So we'll be flipping this image horizontally. To flip it, you can see here the transform box is still there. Just right click inside the transform box and select flip horizontal from here. So this is how you can flip the image on the other side. And then let's decrease the size from all the side by holding the Alt button like this. And try to place the image somewhere that it will look like some of the part inside the mobile screen and the other parts are outside the screen. So it have to be something like this. To see the changes, what you can do, you can actually decrease the opacity from here, so that you can see that how much basically what are the parts is basically going outside from the screen and how much you're keeping inside the mobile screen. So this much I want. That's perfect. Yeah, it will work. So I'll bring back the 100% opacity one more time and then I'll press enter to create this image. And then now we have to select this subject. Here the subject is the horse and this horse rider. So for this I'll be selecting the object selection tools, and with the object selection tools I'll try to select the horse and the horse rider. So here let's select the subject. So just simply click and drag with the object selection tools and just show here that where is your subject with the selection, and just leave the mouse and automatically you'll see the horse and the horse rider is now selected. But if you see that some areas there's some problem, let me show you. If I zoom in, you see here basically the hair of this horse is not perfectly selected, and then also this area is supposed to be not selected, but you see it's also inside the selection. Here also this area is supposed to be deselected, or it's outside. This is basically the background you see here from this gap. So this area is also supposed to be not selected. So there are some problems are there, you can see. So to solve this, what we'll be doing, we'll be using here a different technique. So for that, you can select any selection tool. So at first, you can select either rectangle marquee tools or elliptical marquee tools. You can select the other selection tools as well. Whatever selections you have learned so far. For an example, you can select lasso tools, polygon lasso tools, mounting lasso tools, whatever you want. So just select any selection tools. And then at the top in the control panel, you can see this option, select and mask. So we'll be using this option today. So click here, and then after that you'll see a new windows will pop up, and then from here make sure to select on black, and then make sure that it's 90% here, the opacity, and we'll be selecting, you see on the left side there are some tools. From here we'll be selecting this second tools. We'll be using this refine edge brush tools from here, and let's now zoom in. So it's a brush basically. So simply we have to brush on the edges where you think that the selection is not perfect. Simply brush on the edges and see now the selections, how nice is bring back the selection of the subject. And where you think that there's some extra selections and we need to remove that selection, simply click here on the gap, and then you'll see that from here it will automatically going to deselect this area, and only it will going to make the selection over the subject. Here you can see just on the edge you have to brush like this with this refine edge. You can see the name of the brush is refine edge. So if you see the name, then you're supposed to get the idea anyways. That's probably it's help you to refine the edges. If the selection is not that good, not perfect, with this you'll be able to refine the edges and you can make the selection even better than the result. You can see here there's some also part that not selected. So here I'm selecting like this, and also there are some areas are also not selected. You see, I selected, and this is how you have to do the selection. So it's done. If you see that there's any other area that is supposed to be, for an example here, suppose there is some areas that is not selected perfectly, so you can again brush on the edges like this, and now it's selected. And if you feel like that it just mistakenly you have brushed extra parts, so you can just hold on the Alt button and then brush on the edges. So just bring back the previous state, you just hold on the Alt button and brush, and this is how it will going to work. Now click on the OK button, and then you'll see that the selection is loaded, and now you can zoom in to see that whether the selection is perfect or not. I think it's perfect. If you think that no, that there's some area that maybe you need to select a little bit extra, in that case just select the quick selection tools, and with the quick selection actually we can again brush here, hold on the Alt button, and if you feel like that's going outside, again you can deselect by holding the Alt button. So this is how it works. So you just learn to the new technique, basically select and mask option, and with this you can select and refine the edges by brushing with the refine edge brush. And then you have to click here. After here you can see the subject is selected perfectly, and now we'll click here in the layer mask icon, and now you see that I'm successfully able to remove the background so nicely, and see the result is really nice. And then what I have to do, I'm going to copy this. I'll press Ctrl J to copy this, and then I'll select this layer mask. So what I did here in this one, you can see here's the subject with the background, and in this one I copied it, and in this one I'll select the layer mask and I'll press Ctrl I to inverse it. If I inverse it, then what will happen? Just try to understand. This one is the subject and this one is only the background. So after selecting the subject, then I just copied it and then just inverse the color. So what happened? In this one, there's the subject, and in this one, there's the background without the subjects. After that, here, what you have to do, you have to just turn off all the eyes. Just you can keep this background, the phone here, this image turn on, and then from here I'll select the paint tools, and then I'll select the display from here. Have a look how I'm selecting the display. Just like this, just select the display. You see there's a little bit curve, so I'll simply, with the help of control handle, I'm going to curve it a little bit, and here you can see it's done. Then after that, we'll be pressing Control Enter to load the selection. And now let's turn on this one only, where you can see the background. And here I'll select the layer mask, and then I inverse the selection. You can see right now the selection is inside. I would like to inverse the selection. To inverse the selection, I have to press Control Shift I on the keyboard, and then I'll apply the black color. So right now, basically the outside here, not the screen, but the outside of the screen is selected. So here I'll apply the black color by pressing Alt Delete. Now you can see this is how it looks now. Then press Ctrl D to deselect it. Then you can see here there is a gap, and in this area I would like to fill with this surroundings. Basically here you can see the grasses, so I'd like to fill this area. How we can do that? Simply select this image, but you see there the image is a smart object, and we know that we cannot make any changes to the smart object because the pixels are protected in the smart object. So we have to convert this smart object into a normal layer. Basically you have to rasterize the layers. To rasterize the layer, right click on this layer, and from here select rasterize layer. Here you can see the option. And now we can simply, with the lasso tools, we'll select this area like this, and then we'll right click inside the selection, and then we'll go to fill, and then we'll click on the OK button. Make sure the content aware and the color adoption is turned on. And click on the OK button and see what happened. I just fill this area with the grass. At any point, if you see that there is some grass that you have to fill, then simply just use this technique and fill that gap area. So this is what I did. So if you think that no, the result is not good, again you can apply the fill until you get the best result. Now it looks perfect. So this is what you have to do. We fill up this and this corner, and in your image if there is any other gaps up there, then you have to fill in that portion. And you have to use the content aware fill to fill that gap. Basically now you see that I have created this grasses to the gap, and now I'll bring back the subject and see here already the image looks so nice. And now we have to simply do the color adjustment. To do the color adjustment, before that let us add some shadow to this subject. So see what I'm doing and try to follow the same steps. Just load the selection of the subject one more time, and we know that how to load the selection. Basically we have to hold on the control button, and then we have to click on the layer box to load the subject. But here you see that in this one, actually this layer is basically the subject only. So in this one the subject selection is in the layer mask. So we have to hold on the control button, and then we have to click on the layer mask, and now you see the selection is there. It came back. Now what we'll be doing, we're going to simply apply, basically we'll create a new layer and apply the black color to this selection. By pressing Alt Delete, just simply apply the black color, and then after that we have to simply press Ctrl T and then right click inside the transform box, and from here select flip vertical, and then take it down here and place it right here like this, like a shadow. And then after that we can simply right click here and inside the transform box, and then we can select skew. So we can select this skew, and then we can simply take it here on the left side like this. And this is what we can do. If you feel like that you need to customize it a little bit more, then you can actually do it by using the distort option as well from the transform option. I think this will work for me. Yeah, I think this will work. That's perfect. So this is what I want. The left side, maybe I can also select the distort as well. Distort also will work perfectly. You can move this corners easily. You can just move this corner anywhere. It will not face any more problem what you're facing in the skew option. So if you select the distort, you can move these corners freely wherever you want like this, and then press enter to apply. And now just simply change its opacity. So we're going to change its opacity to maybe 30 or something like this. Let's see. From here we're going to take down the opacity. So here you can see now it's look like shadow, and we'll be changing this blend mode to multiply. And if it's required, we can change the opacity a little bit more. We can take it down, and I have used here 25%. And then I would like to add a little bit blur to the shadow. So, in the shadow, there needs to be any sharpness on the edges. So if you see here, the edges are very sharp. So we have to apply some blur. So always remember, after creating some artificial shadows like this, always apply a little bit blur so that it will look more realistic. So we'll be applying the Gaussian blur. To apply the Gaussian blur, go to filter and then from here select Gaussian blur. And now apply the blur according to your need. I think it will work. Click on the OK button. And if you see that the position is not perfect, you can select and just reposition it like this. Now it looks more nice. Yeah, this is how I've created the shadow. Now you can see here the subject at the top and the bottom is basically the brightness is same. But at the bottom of this subject, I would like to make it a little bit darker, and at the top it will be brighter, but here on the legs I want to make it a little bit darker so that it will look more realistic, because at the bottom when there is some shadow at the bottom is supposed to be a little bit darker, not the same brightness. So for that, also in this side, because there will be the light source on this side, on the other side, so here I would like to make it a little bit darker. So I'll hold on the control button and click on the layer mask, and you see that it's again I'm able to bring back the selection of the subject, and then I'll create a new layer, and then I'll apply the black color and press Ctrl D, and then I'll add a layer mask, and here I'll select the gradient tools and apply the black color here in the layer mask like this. So you see here in the layer mask at the bottom is the white and the top is the black. So in the black area, basically the black color that I have applied here in this layer, it will not go to apply, but at the bottom it's now visible. So this is what I want to do, and this is I have applied this color, and you see here now if I turn on of this layer, you can see the changes. At the bottom is darker. Now we can again decrease the opacity from here. Maybe we can make it a little bit 60%. And I think it will be better in that case. Yeah, it's much better. It looks naturally. Have a look. All right, and then after that, now we're going to add simply the sun here. So to create a sun, we'll be using a filter. So let me show you. So here, I'll create a new layer, and then I'll apply here the black color. At the top, you can see I have created a layer at the very top and applied the black color. And then here I'll apply, or I'll going to use a filter in this black layer. Go to filter and then go to render, and then from here select lens flare. And then from here you can see the windows will look like this. Make sure to select here 105 mm prime, and then from here we'll be simply taking this, basically this flare. You can move its position, so I'll be keeping it like this. You can see here this flare is on the angle like this, so make sure to keep it like this right here, because here is my subject on the angle. So this is how I'd like to keep, and this looks perfect. And from here make sure to keep it between 90 to 100. We'll make it 100 and click on the OK button. Now have a look what I did. I created something looks like sun. Then from here I'll change its blend mode to screen. Here you can see. Now I'll change this position. From here I'm going to put it right here like this. Have a look how nice it looks. Then we have to also add a layer mask here, because you can see here there's a sharp edges I can see. Basically you can see here I have moved this layer, so because of that it's blended, but still I can see the sharpness here. So to solve this issue or solve this problem, what we can do, simply we can add a layer mask to this flare, and then from here select the brush tools and select the layer mask, and with the black color just brush here on the edges, so it will going to make, and it's going to fade away the edges like this. Now it looks much better and much natural. So this is what you can do. So this is how we have added this light source of the sun here. So it's the artificial sun, and now you see here the sun color is white. I would like to give it a yellow tone. So for that, simply when this layer is selected, simply the one that I have applied this flare, and then just go to image and then adjustment and then hue and saturation. That's what I have to do. But you can see here when this layer mask is selected, it will not going to show the options. Just make sure to select this layer and then go to image, adjustment, and then from here hue and saturation. And now I'll be applying the color. So make sure to turn on the colorize option from here, and let's take it somewhere here like this. I'll just like to make it a little bit orangish. Let's increase the saturation to close to 50, 49. Anything that you feel like this looks perfect, click on the OK button, and now you see how nice it looks. Now it looks like orange and kind of like sunset. During the sunset, the color of the sun that we see, that's what I want. This looks perfect. And then we have to do the adjustment, basically the color adjustment now. So just try to follow and see that what I'm doing one by one. So first click here on this icon and we have to take a level adjustment layer. So take a level adjustment layer, or we can also use curve. So let's use the curve, because with the curve we can actually bring a little bit more extra depth in the darker parts. So let's use the curve adjustment layer from here. Select the curve adjustment layer and then just click and drag it a little bit down from this top here, and then here also at the bottom a little bit down. Don't make it too much, so that you'll see that it will going to make the image too much darker. We don't want that. We want a little bit like this. Just you can click here on the eye to see the before and after. So that looks perfect. This is what I want. Now after this, we have to now actually do some color balance. So I would like to make this image a little bit more yellowish and also reddish a little bit. I would like to change the temperature of this image. Basically, I would like to give it a little bit yellowish tone. So let me show you how to do that. Click here on this icon and then from here select the color balance. And then from here, first we'll work in the mid-tone. In the mid-tone, we're going to make it a little bit red and a little bit yellow. Don't apply too much. And then from here, select the shadow here, because we can see there's lots of darker areas are there in this image. So that's why we have selected the shadow. And then we'll add a little bit red in the shadow area and a little bit yellow in the shadow area as well. So we have added the red and the yellow as well. And you can see now the change. If I show you the change, then you'll see. If I turn on of this, then you can see the changes. Now it's looking much yellow, and this is what I want. I want this yellow tone in my image. At any point, if you need to adjust, you can open, you can apply a little bit more like this if you think that is required. So this is how you have to do it. One is the mid-tone and the one is the shadow. So in the shadow, this is what I did. I have applied the red and the yellow, and also in the mid-tone, I'll apply a little bit red and the yellow as well, like this. Now it's done. Now we're going to add the last and the final adjustment layer. And before that, you can see here this layer is turned off. If I turn on this layer, basically you remember we have created this layer at the very first step, and then we have put in the black color. So we created this to create the extra depth. Now it's turned off, that's why we cannot see the depth here. So if I turn it on, now you can see the depth. How nice it looks. So this is what basically I was looking for, and this layer was turned off. That's the reason I was not able to see this depth here. If I turn it on and off, you can see here the changes. So make sure that all these layers that you have worked on and then you applied this adjustment and the filters, make sure to turn all this on. And one more thing you can do here, the sun that we have created, the artificial sun, in this sun, we can, if we want, we can add some blur, because here I can see the sun is a little bit, a little bit sharp. I would like to make it a little bit blurry. So select this sun, basically this layer, and then go to filter and then blur, and then from here add some Gaussian blur. Just add a little bit, not too much. Just make sure that is visible, and also it's a little bit blur, not that sharp. Now click on the OK button. Now it looks even better. Now we'll be adding the final adjustment layer, which will be the selective color. Here you can see at the very bottom in the list. And then what you have to do, just to try to follow the tricks from here in the color, click here, and from this list select the neutral. And in the neutral you have to add here in the black positive 10 value. So it will be the 10, positive 10 value, and select the black from here, and here you have to add exactly the negative value what you have added in the neutral. So in the neutral we have used 10, and here we have to use the same value but in a negative. Basically we'll be putting here minus 10. So this is what you have to do. If you're using 10, 11, 12, no matter what you're using, just put the same but the negative value in the black. And now the work is done. Now have a look how nice it looks. So this is what we created, and this is how you can create image like this following all these steps, and you can see the result. It looks so good. So it looks amazing. Thank you so much for watching the video, and if you like the video, then please do subscribe my channel and like the video, and your one like will motivate me even more to create these types of videos. So thank you so much, and see you in the next video.